Hey guys, welcome back. We're looking at OnyxCoin, ticker symbol XCN. So XCN right now is in a better position than the rest of the crypto market right now, at least in comparison for Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. The reason why I say this is because Bitcoin have all dropped to their support. We're seeing massive selling happening, but we're not seeing the same for OnyxCoin right now. Now, in terms of some of the levels we are looking for OnyxCoin, firstly, you have the 0.00416, which is also extremely close to this previous zone coming in at 0.00292 to 0.00377. The reason why this is important is because if you go back into kind of the start of 2025, the end of 2024, before OnyxCoin had this massive run, this is where it was struggling the most. This is where, when it did break out, is when we saw the massive acceleration. You can see the first attempt, which failed, but then when we did break it, we saw this massive acceleration. And so this zone is very significant as well. Now, where we are at right now is that we are testing this 17% on the Fibonacci, the 0.00693, where if we do fail, we may see it come back to tap this 0.00416, which then ultimately taps the 0.00377. Now, the reason why I said it's in a better position than Bitcoin, than Ethereum, is because we're not seeing this massive selling. In fact, what we are seeing is how potential of breaking out of this structure. So we saw this massive selling structure obviously happening over here. We saw this bearish structure happening here, where we see countless lower lows into lower highs, into lower lows, and then we actually finally had a breakout. You can regard it here, or of course more visibly, this particular breakout over here. So we broke out of this bearish trend. But then straight after that, now the rest of the crypto market did this as well. So this isn't just a one-off to OnyxCoin, but the moment it broke out of that, we then went into another small bearish structure once again. But the thing is, for OnyxCoin, where we are looking at right now with where we are, yes, this is a lower low, but you can see how actually it doesn't have that much momentum. Typically, when you see a new lower low, especially the fact that this was after it tapped the 38.2 Fibonacci, going past the 17, got on its way to 0, is that it should actually sell off more, but it is instantly being brought back up. It's instantly being used to test this 17 on the Fibonacci. So what we could actually see is very likely to have a breakout of this bearish structure, where we actually see a higher high being made as opposed to this lower high going into another lower low. And so if that is the case, then what we were looking at is the forming of a potential new bullish market structure. And that's what we need in order for us to see the price obviously go back upwards. You know, we may be seeing something along this channel like this. Now, some of the levels you want to watch out for where we've seen massive selling is this particular zone, the 0.00995 all the way to 0.01289. This is what we've seen in the past where there has been massive selling. You can see firstly highlighted over here, and then secondly in this particular zone. This is where people are taking their profit. So for OnyxCoin to have a massive run, we need to see it go back up, not only to this point, but have the people here take profit, not to the extent where the price rejects, and then people actually still buying, which allows OnyxCoin to go back up. After we are able to break out of the 0.012 area, we're testing that 61.8, so the 0.014 area, and then we are of course aiming for higher 0.02, 0.024, and of course even higher. And so that will be the structure that we're looking out for right now. Now, if you want to watch where we could be going, firstly, we are already at a pivot zone. We're already at a resistance. So if we're able to flip above the 693 level, it's very good. But we may still be watching if the rest of the market continues to plunge, continues to dump. We may see it actually affect OnyxCoin to the point where it does go back to 0.0416, but it won't be too much because right now we're not actually seeing that happen. So that's what you want to watch out for. As always, don't accept financial advice, and I'll catch you guys next time.